I want you to stop what you're doing for just a moment and lift up your hand in front of you. Go ahead, look at your fingertips right now, because in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to show you a test that could tell you whether your arteries are dangerously clogged, whether your heart is silently struggling, and whether you might be heading toward a heart attack or stroke in the coming months. This test costs you nothing. It requires no equipment, no blood draw, no doctor's visit, just your own 2 hands and 5 seconds of attention. My name is Dr. Ray, and over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to perform this test, what the results mean, and what to do if you discover the warning signs. Please don't skip this video. What I'm about to share could genuinely save your life. Let me begin with a story, because this test came to my attention through a patient who almost died. His name was Arthur, 74 years old, retired school teacher, the kind of man who kept himself in decent shape, didn't smoke, watched what he ate, and went to his annual checkups religiously. His doctor told him everything looked fine. His blood pressure was slightly elevated, but nothing to worry about. His cholesterol was borderline but manageable. He felt a bit more tired than usual, but at 74, what man doesn't? 3 months after his checkup, Arthur collapsed in his kitchen, massive heart attack. 3 of his major arteries were 95% blocked. He survived, thank God, but only because his wife knew CPR and the ambulance arrived within 8 minutes. When I spoke to him after his recovery, he said the same thing I hear from almost every heart attack survivor. He said, "Dr. Ray, I had no warning, none. My doctor said I was fine." But the truth was, his body had been trying to warn him for months. He just didn't know what to look for. And one of the most powerful, simplest early warning signs he missed was something he could have checked at home in 5 seconds. The finger test. So let me walk you through it right now. I want you to take your right hand and hold it up at about chest level, palm facing you. Look at your index finger. Now, press the tip of that finger firmly with the thumb of your other hand. Press down with moderate pressure for about 3 seconds, enough that the fingertip turns pale, almost white. Then release. I want you to watch carefully. How quickly does the color come back? How pink does it get? Does it return evenly, or do you see patches? Try this with me right now before I continue. In a healthy adult, when you release the pressure, the fingertip should return to its normal pink color within 2 seconds or less. The color should rush back in evenly, smoothly, and your finger should look exactly the same as it did before you pressed on it. If that's what happened when you tested yourself, congratulations. Your peripheral circulation is likely in good shape. But if your fingertip took 3 seconds, 4 seconds, or longer to return to its normal color, you may have a circulation problem. If your fingertip returned to a pale or bluish tint instead of pink, that's another warning sign. And if the color came back in uneven patches, with some areas pinking up faster than others, this can indicate serious problems with the microvessels that feed your fingertips and, by extension, feed every other organ in your body. This test is called the capillary refill test, and it's one of the oldest, most reliable bedside assessments in medicine. Doctors have been using it for over 100 years to gauge a patient's circulation status. But somehow, this simple, powerful tool never made it into the public consciousness. Seniors check their blood pressure, they check their weight, they check their blood sugar if they have diabetes. But almost nobody checks their capillary refill, even though it can reveal problems long before other tests catch them. Let me explain why this matters so much for seniors in particular. As we age, our blood vessels go through changes. The large arteries, the ones your doctor can see on imaging tests, are only part of the story. The far bigger concern is the microvascular system, the network of tiny capillaries that deliver blood to every cell in your body. You have billions of these capillaries. They are smaller than a human hair, and they are the first to be damaged when you have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, or chronic inflammation. By the time your doctor sees blockages in your major arteries on a scan, your microvessels have been suffering for years, maybe decades. The capillary refill test is essentially a window into those microvessels. It tells you, in real time, how well blood is flowing through the smallest, most delicate parts of your circulatory system. Now let me walk you through some other variations of this test so you can get a complete picture. First, test all 10 fingers. Don't just test one. Sometimes circulation problems affect one hand more than the other, especially if you have plaque building up in certain arteries. Go through each finger, one at a time, and compare. If one hand consistently refills more slowly than the other, that's important information. Second, try the test when your hands are cold versus warm. After washing your hands in warm water, the test should be fast and vibrant. If your hands are cold, refill time can naturally be a bit slower, but it shouldn't be dramatically different. If even with warm hands your refill is slow, that's a concerning finding. Third, try what I call the elevation test. Raise both your hands straight up over your head for 30 seconds. Then bring them down and immediately look at your fingertips. Healthy circulation should have your fingertips return to normal pink color within a few seconds. If they stay pale, blotchy, or slow to pink up, your circulation to your extremities is likely compromised. And fourth, press and release on the bed of your fingernail itself, not just the fingertip skin. The nail bed refill is often even more revealing than fingertip refill because you can see the color change directly through the nail. Now here's where I want to connect the dots for you. Slow capillary refill in your fingers isn't just about your fingers. Your fingertips are simply the most accessible place to observe what's happening throughout your entire body. If your fingertips are refilling slowly, your heart muscle is probably also receiving less blood than it needs. Your brain is probably receiving less blood. Your kidneys, your eyes, your legs, every organ is experiencing some level of reduced perfusion. And this reduced perfusion, day after day, month after month, year after year, is exactly what leads to heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure, vision loss, and cognitive decline. So what causes slow capillary refill in seniors? Let me walk you through the main culprits. The first is atherosclerosis, which is hardening and narrowing of the arteries due to plaque buildup. This is the most common cause in seniors, and it's directly linked to heart attack and stroke risk. The second is poorly controlled diabetes. High blood sugar damages the walls of tiny blood vessels, making them stiff, narrow, and prone to clotting. The third is high blood pressure, which pushes against artery walls until they thicken and lose their flexibility. The fourth is chronic dehydration, which many seniors suffer from without realizing it because the thirst sensation weakens with age. The fifth is smoking, or history of smoking, which damages blood vessels permanently. And the sixth, which surprises a lot of people, is low thyroid function, which slows down every metabolic process in the body, including circulation. Now let me tell you what to actually do if your test results aren't what they should be. The first thing I want to say is, don't panic. Slow capillary refill is a warning sign, not a death sentence. It's your body telling you that something needs attention. And the beautiful thing about your circulatory system is that it can heal, it can improve, it can regenerate if you make the right changes. I've seen patients dramatically improve their capillary refill times within just a few months of committed lifestyle changes. Here's what I want you to do starting today. Step 1, drink more water. I don't mean a little more, I mean significantly more. Most seniors are chronically dehydrated, and dehydration alone can slow capillary refill by 30 to 40%. Your target should be at least 8 glasses of plain water per day, more if you're active or it's hot weather. And no, coffee and tea don't count. Start every morning with a large glass of water before anything else, and sip throughout the day. Within 1 week of proper hydration, many seniors see noticeable improvement in their finger test. Step 2. Get moving. Your circulation depends on movement. Every step you take, every time you flex your muscles, every time your heart pumps a little harder, you're pushing blood through those tiny capillaries and keeping them healthy. If you're mostly sedentary, your capillaries literally start to wither and disappear. The good news is, just 30 minutes of walking per day can rebuild capillary networks within weeks. You don't need to run marathons. You don't need to lift heavy weights. You just need to move consistently every single day. Walking is the single best exercise for a senior's circulation. It's gentle on the joints, it engages the whole body, and it's free. Step 3, review your diet. The foods that clog your arteries are well known by now. Fried foods, processed meats, sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, trans fats. But equally important are the foods that open your arteries and improve circulation. Leafy greens like spinach and kale contain nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, which relaxes and widens blood vessels. Beets do the same thing, and even more powerfully. Dark chocolate in small amounts has compounds that improve blood flow. Fatty fish like salmon provides omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation in blood vessel walls. Berries contain antioxidants that repair capillary damage. And garlic, raw or lightly cooked, has been shown to improve peripheral circulation in numerous studies. Step 4. Check and control your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. If you have high blood pressure, take your medications consistently. If you have diabetes, manage it aggressively. If your cholesterol is high, work with your doctor on both lifestyle and medication strategies. These 3 conditions are the big drivers of poor circulation, and controlling them is non-negotiable if you want to improve your capillary function. Step 5. Quit smoking if you haven't already. I know this is hard, especially for seniors who have been smoking for decades. But every cigarette damages your blood vessels, and every day you don't smoke, your body begins to heal. Within 12 weeks of quitting, circulation measurably improves. Within a year, your risk of heart attack drops significantly. It is never too late to benefit from quitting. Step 6. Consider supplements that support circulation, always after consulting your doctor. L-arginine and L-citrulline are amino acids that help the body produce nitric oxide. CoQ10 supports heart muscle and vessel health. Magnesium helps relax blood vessel walls. Vitamin D, which most seniors are deficient in, plays a role in vascular health. Fish oil reduces inflammation. These aren't magic bullets, but combined with lifestyle changes, they can accelerate improvement. And step 7, and I cannot emphasize this enough, manage your stress. Chronic stress constricts your blood vessels, raises your blood pressure, and increases inflammation throughout your body. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time with loved ones, gardening, reading, or whatever brings you peace, you must make stress management a daily priority. Your circulation depends on it. Now, there are some situations where slow capillary refill is a medical emergency, and I need you to know about them so you don't delay care when you need it urgently. If you have slow capillary refill combined with chest pain, shortness of breath, sudden weakness on one side of your body, sudden vision changes, or sudden confusion, call emergency services immediately. These could be signs of a heart attack or stroke in progress. Do not wait. Do not drive yourself. Do not try to tough it out. Get help. Also, if you notice that a specific finger, toe, or area of skin is becoming persistently cold, blue, or painful, this could be a sign of acute arterial blockage, which is a surgical emergency. Sometimes a clot can lodge in a peripheral artery and cut off blood flow completely. This needs immediate medical attention to save the limb. And if you're a diabetic, you should be checking your fingers and toes daily anyway, both with the capillary refill test and for wounds, cuts, or changes in color. Diabetic peripheral vascular disease is one of the leading causes of amputations, and it almost always starts with warning signs that are ignored until it's too late. I want to leave you with one final thought. Your body is constantly giving you information about your health. Most of us have just never learned to listen. The capillary refill test is one small, simple way to start listening. Do it once a week. Track your results. Notice how they change with your diet, your sleep, your stress levels, your hydration. Over time, you'll develop a real understanding of your own circulatory health, and you'll be able to catch problems early when they're still reversible. Arthur, the patient I told you about at the beginning, now does this test every single morning. He told me it's become part of his routine, like brushing his teeth. And he said something to me that really struck me. He said, "Dr. Ray, if I had known about this test before my heart attack, I would have caught my problem months earlier. I would have known something was wrong. I wouldn't have been blindsided." That's exactly why I'm sharing this with you today. So you're not blindsided. So you have the tools to know your own body. If this information has been helpful to you, please share it with someone you love, a spouse, a sibling, a parent, a friend. Teach them the finger test. It takes 2 minutes to explain, and it could be the warning sign that saves their life. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, and join me for more of the simple, practical health insights that can make a real difference in your life. Before I sign off, let me give you my standard reminder. I am not your personal doctor. The finger test is a useful screening tool, but it is not a substitute for proper medical evaluation. If your results concern you, or if you have any symptoms of heart disease, stroke, or circulation problems, please see your physician. Get proper testing, get proper treatment. The goal of this channel is to empower you with information, not to replace the care of your own doctor. Take care of your circulation. It takes care of everything else. And I'll see you in the next video. Before you go though, let me share just a few more practical things that will help you apply what you learned today. Because information without action is just entertainment, and I want this to actually change your life. First, I want you to do the finger test on yourself 3 times this week. Morning, afternoon, and evening on the same day. Write down your refill times. Notice if there's a pattern. For many seniors, circulation is worse in the morning after hours of lying flat and improves throughout the day as they move around. If your morning results are much slower than evening results, that tells you something about what your body is doing overnight. It might be worth reviewing your sleep position, your hydration before bed, or whether your medications are wearing off during the night. Second, teach this test to your spouse, your adult children, or a close friend, and do it together. Health habits are much more sustainable when we do them with people we love. Make it a weekly ritual. Compare your results. Talk about any changes you notice. This is the kind of thing that can open up important conversations about aging, health, and how we want to live the years we have left. And honestly, some of my most rewarding appointments are with couples who have been doing little health check-ins like this together for years. It strengthens their bond, and it catches problems early. Third, if you have an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, or any kind of smartwatch, take advantage of the pulse oximetry and heart rate features. These devices are not perfect, but they give you another window into your circulation. A healthy resting pulse oximeter reading should be 95% or higher. If yours is consistently below 94, that combined with slow capillary refill is a signal to see your doctor sooner rather than later. Fourth, pay attention to your feet, not just your hands. Feet circulation is often the first place to show serious problems, especially for diabetics. Look at your feet every evening. Are they cold? Are they discolored? Do you have wounds that aren't healing? Are your toenails brittle and slow growing? Is the hair on your toes disappearing? These are all signs of peripheral arterial disease, and combined with a slow finger test, they paint a clear picture of a circulatory system that needs urgent attention. I truly believe that if every senior in this country learned this one simple test and actually paid attention to what their body was showing them, we could prevent thousands of heart attacks and strokes every year. It's that powerful. But the knowledge has to reach the people who need it, and that's where you come in. Share this video. Talk about it with your community. Help spread the word. Because most seniors have no idea that their fingertips hold such important information. Take care, and I'll see you next time.